Hi, I'm Gail Shields. I'm president and co-founder of Downsizing Diva. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about aging. I have been dealing with it for a number of years now, and I have discovered that it is daunting for seniors and their families who don't know what's coming next. And even though I've been helping seniors through this transition phase for many years, I find I need somebody to talk to, and I need advice. This episode, I am going to be sitting down with several of my friends of over 60 years. We're going to be talking, probably laughing, sharing our own experiences, and helping each other, and hopefully you, through this awkward stage, the fourth stage. I hope you enjoy the episode. Okay, well, I am so glad to have everybody together today. I'm Gail Shields, one of the owners and president of Downsizing Diva. And I am on a journey, I guess you'd call it, into aging. Oops. I'm well into that journey. But recently, I have realized that we need to spend some time looking forward. So, who better to bring together to look forward? Because we need to talk. We need to hear ourselves say what's important to us, what we're looking for. And who better than friends? We have been friends, these women and me, for over 60 years. That would be 6-0. We started teaching together, and for most of us, Joni was our secretary, and the rest of us were all new teachers starting out. And we range in age from 78.
Yes.
You didn't have to say. Oh, you're the youngest.
I'm the youngest, of course.
Yeah. To 92. And so we are definitely at the point in our lives where we may not have to do anything yet, but we have to start thinking. Because when you get to be seniors, life doesn't seem to be easy. I've been watching my husband struggle with that. So, first thing I want to ask, because I know that a lot of people are asking this question, a lot like us in the business of working with seniors. Do you like being called a senior?
No.
Absolutely not.
I like it when we get the discount.
Or when we get the disabled parking spot.
Yeah, or when somebody offers you a seat on the bus.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So you like the perks, but you don't like the term.
I don't even like that.
You don't even like the perks?
No, like if somebody thinks I can't be standing, like when you're on the big tram, you're going to the airport and you're standing, I can stand too. I don't want that special little thing because.
But I can't stand
Okay.
anymore. So
that makes
so
no
it
sense.
really is helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll stand if I don't have a seat. But if somebody offers me the seat, that's great.
But I think that's the important part, Fran, is the fact it's your own perspective. And so we all probably have a very different perspective on many things. So you will make us think today.
Well, we'll all make us
Yeah.
think. I guarantee that.
Yes.
See, the thing about teachers is we're planners. And so part of having this conversation is the start of a plan. I, for one, am at a transition point. Transitioned once before, moving from a house to a condo. And now I'm thinking about, okay, next steps. Because for George, my husband, it's not easy, even in the condo.
No.
So, and for me, the traffic, that's not easy either. If we don't call ourselves seniors, what do we call ourselves?
It's really hard to answer that question. I went to this family doctor and he had moved. And this substitute doctor was there and he was 78 years old, filling in for my family doctor. So I said, you haven't mentioned it's all due to old age. He said, no, I prefer to call it maturity.
Oh.
Then I didn't know whether that was good or not because ripe, I'm not ripe. So I wasn't sure where that was going. But, you know, it's hard.
For 60 plus years, we have been getting together. The group has been getting together monthly. And not everybody can go all the time, but we go when we can. We changed from meeting in the evening to meeting for lunch because we don't want to drive at night. And we have moved all over the place, so not everybody can come, but when they're in Toronto, they're there.
Or you make the effort, because I am far removed, because I do live further away than anyone. But when it's important enough, I make that be the special event of the day. So the drive is worth it. You just have to get organized. I wanted to go back, Fran, to the word mature, because it's such a more sensible word, but I have never been sensible, and I don't ever intend to be sensible. So that doesn't fit me either.
I know.
So that's true though. So I kind of like this idea of sustaining a sisterhood, sustaining where we are, moving forward at our pace to do what we want to do. Because I think the thing that comes into my mind is, what's the one thing we want out of life? We just want to feel happy. We want to feel content. And we get that from our children and our grandchildren and our friends and our family and our community.
And this was what this was all about. This particular issue was about happiness, and so were the issues in here, all about how to make your life work, what to do, what can you do. And I think a couple of us aren't here today because they actually are not well enough to be here. And that's another part of it. We all have issues that get in the way of our health issues that get in the way.
We all do, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And
And they
that's
can,
not necessarily older people.
I
That's
know.
all of us from time
that's
to
right,
time.
yeah. But
I love this. This
So-
is from Elva, who can't be with us today because she isn't well enough. But she wanted to, and so she sent her notes for Fran to read.
I love that.
And to,
Well,
I do too.
Yeah, so she has lots of stories to tell about different things that have happened to her when she broke her leg and went to rehab, and it was very interesting. It's hilarious listening to her talk and tell those stories.
And actually, sorry to
That's
interrupt, but Elva was, I think, the first of all of us to move into a seniors community.
That's right. Yeah.
And that was how many years ago? A lot.
Oh yeah, 15 anyways.
At least.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah,
at least.
and she's still there. And that, talk about sustaining the sisterhood. She has that sisterhood as well,
Yes.
and that has kept her going.
So even though her mobility is less, she still, she said, oh, I'm going to lunch here and then I'm going to lunch there. And, she just keeps on doing things. And what her whole point is that we shouldn't just sit around and complain about things, that we should keep moving and find ways to cope with everything.
And then you forget about your problems.
And the other thing
You keep
is
going.
to reach out. If you need help, to reach out and accept the help. I mean, some people just don't accept that they need the help. And so she gave me a list of different things that she has reached out for. Do you want to look at it? Okay. So one was moving, downsizing. And that was a very important
That's
aspect.
a good word, eh?
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
a
very
great
good
word.
Exciting, yeah.
And because now she's on one floor, everything's on one floor. Now, she did have her laundry downstairs, but she moved it up. But also, if you need a chairlift, get a chairlift.
Yes.
Don't not do that, because don't forget the government does pay for some of these things too. And use your walker and put the brakes on your walker when it's not moving. I mean, a lot of little helps that, people forget to do. Make sure you look after your feet. Wear your right shoes. Don't worry about, you can really nice. We're all wearing nice shoes, but they're flat and they're built for us, and don't wear your slippers if you're gonna fall inside your house, keep your shoes on. Get a cleaning lady, order in your food if you can't be cooking, go to Heart and Home or whatever that's called, wear your oven gloves. She was talking about now she doesn't use the front 2 burners on her stove because she burned herself. She only uses the back 2, and she has no balance, and she put her hand on the oven. And so now she has to make sure she's wearing the oven mitts, and she's only using the back 2 burners.
So you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, and don't put heavy things in the oven because her balance is off now, and you can't lift it out of the oven. And the same with things up too high on the shelf. You can't get up on the stool to do that. But all these are practical things. Stock up on food when you're at the store. Don't try and go too many times. Order online if you need to. Take a cab because probably you're not driving very well anymore and you shouldn't be driving. So put your money to the cab instead, or share. Arrange your furniture so that your floor is open. So when you're walking around, there's not stuff on the floor in the way, and it's all organized so you're not running into things. She uses a walker, so if you use a walker in your house, you have to think about that, especially. And I don't use a walker, but I sure keep things away from my path. I have a pathway.
And I'd like to interrupt there just for a second because Elva has been extremely wonderful at being introspective, to be self-aware. Then the next step, and that's the hard one, is to accept. Accept that's where you are, so that then you can do the accommodations that will make your life safe and better. And she also inadvertently points out there has to be a bit of a purpose for the day, so that there is a reason for doing all the things you're doing, whether it be a fun lunch or a second lunch or all those things. So I'm impressed with her self-awareness and self-acceptance.
And I think that was one of the things she and I have talked about a few times, was you have to face reality. Life is different now. So, you have to make the changes if you want to live and do things. It's not that you can't, you just do them differently and learn new ways and adapt. And sometimes we don't want to. We're a very stubborn bunch, and we just say, but then we realize if we want to go somewhere and do something, we have to adapt, and you know that. And that was another main part of it. Don't let your pride get in the way of finding a new way of doing things. And some people don't accept that this is where they are at the moment, and this is what they have to do to keep on going. I'm one of those people. I suddenly lost my a lot of mobility and balance and stuff, and here I have a cane, and I'm thinking,
I know. Well,
I know.
Are you finished?
Yeah. So
okay. I was just going to say I have an invisible disability to your eyes, but I have hydrocephalus, and so too much fluid gets up into my head. And then sometimes it'll flow down into my balance, which is on my right side. So I have to be very careful. I've had some terrible falls, and about a month and a half ago I had a horrible fall in our kitchen on a very hard floor. So it's taking me a long time to have that heal. But I overdid it I have a recumbent, and so I thought one day, oh, I feel so good. I'll do another session of 10, 20 minutes. Well, that tipped me over the edge. So you have to realize your limits and go with that. And so anyway, it's a learning curve. And learning curve. And
But you're in your own house
yes.
with Rob.
Yes.
And there's just the two of you. Do you
yes.
do you have a support system around you?
Well, interestingly enough, yes, we have very fine neighbors. And the other day we looked outside at the front window, and there are the little boys next door with their mother raking up our leaves.
Oh.
And, so we get help that way. We also hire people, to cut grass, and the cleaning lady, or she's not just the cleaning lady, she's there right now as we speak, and she's looking after household functions. And then I had a woman who I taught with many years ago call me out of the blue because she's back in Toronto, and at the end of the conversation she said, she lives now in the Guildwood, and she said, Sandy, do you need any help? And when she asked me, I couldn't come up with what could she ask, what could she do for me? And then I thought, well, I have an operation coming up shortly. So I thought, I'll call her back and ask her if she'll help me out with, after the operation, to come in and help me with that. So anyway, surprises happen, and it's always, every day I review my day in my mind, and there are always so many unexpected pleasures.
Oh,
Yes.
good for you.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is good.
And Tina, you're in your own house.
I am. And I'm on my own, so I have to think about that. And that really is an important thing, because I also am half an hour away from Port Perry, half an hour away from Lindsay, so there's nothing around me except this little tiny strip where some of us are on the water and some of us back onto Wolf Run Golf Course. However, I too have wonderful neighbors, and I think that's important because, as I said before, my daughter thought I should move into town because I was, Mom, you're 82, you gotta come to town, because whatever. And I did search it out. I did search out West Shore, which is wonderful, and the Villa, which is also super, but I realized when I went there that emotionally and socially I was not at that place. No. I also realized that in spite of the fact that there are a few health issues, but I can pretty much work through them or with them because I like living on my own, and I can still do everything except I got smart. I have snow removal now. When it's more than that many inches, I have a young man come and do that because it gets to be heavy, and I have a 3 wide driveway, so it's a lot of shoveling. But the other thing is important, like this morning I went to put my friend's birthday card in the mailbox because I live out in the boonies, so I have mail delivery, and I looked and I went, oh, my neighbor had put my number on the mailbox. So he knew that we had a little to do with the mailbox. It seems like the mail delivery person kind of knocked it over, so he fixed that. But that's just a willing helping. And the other thing is that when you're out there and they know you're on your own, somebody will do a little check, make sure the car's there or whatever. So to be, again, I guess I'm going to come back to that word, awareness, because you're very aware, and then you're smart to know what you need to do. That is so wise. But then I like the fact that you have surprise pleasures, but that's also being aware of the good things that just pop into our day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we just shared photographs because it's the people and the family that are the contact. And I have another 93-year-old woman. So I said to her, what's important mostly for you? What's the main thing? She said, it's people and it's contact.
That's exactly
And she now lives in Chartwell, but she has a couple of family members. She moved out of Toronto to Windsor, but she has family there too. But that was the main thing that was important to her, to have other people.
Do you agree with that? Is that
Absolutely.
sense of community?
Yes.
I have it down to friends and family are your two. Well, you have to add your health too, because if you have your health and you can do things, that's really important. But your friends and your family, that's so important. Like my church choir and the activities we have, and then the social things we have, and then the special events we have, like Sunday, because I was still in Ottawa, I couldn't be at our hymn sing, and we had Mark Runke, who's one of my favorite people.
Yes, I know.
And he was our guest. So now I have to wait for it to come up on YouTube.
Oh, you'll
But
get that.
yeah,
That's
I'll
good.
get it. But all of
that's
those
good.
things, they bring, and you have to realize too, what brings you joy. Music brings me huge joy. So if I need to do a little uplift, or if I need to do a lot of housework, because I still do all my housework, I crank the tunes, baby,
Yes.
and I go, and then I'm
I
happy.
agree with that.
Yeah, inspirational.
And this, the 93-year-old, she also said what you're talking about, you know, don't sit around, keep active, and she does. She's an advocate for some, she sees something in Chartwell that's not right, she speaks up, and she advocates for the other people that are there. And, you know, she keeps an active mind, and she's interested in sports and all kinds of things. But, you know, I also think that for some of us, it's mindfulness and prayer.
Yes.
There's if you happen to have a church that you go to, prayer is very important because it's a way of finding your way through your problem, if you have a problem, you know, and giving you a positive place to meet with people who are like-minded. But mindfulness is really helpful. Mindfulness is just sitting there, emptying your head of everything, and then you get this lovely sense of release and relief, and then you look at things a bit more clearly and a bit better. But I like the thing that you said about the joy.
Yeah.
That's very important. And
When that lady talked about exercise, one of the things that I do, and I love it because it allows you to do everything, I do Tai Chi. I do it at least 2 days a week, sometimes 3. And you've got huge camaraderie. And then you've got focus on exercises that have been proven that when you do good Tai Chi, you use every muscle in your body. But along with that, you've got balance, you work on balance, and you work on strength. And so when you do it all, when you do the whole set, it's an amazing, you have to empty your brain
yes.
to do the set, otherwise you're stepping on people and they don't like that. And then you are so focused on what you're doing, you lose yourself and you empty your head, and you are refreshed and renewed at the end of your set, really.
That's a good way to go.
They do Tai Chi here
Do they?
at Harmony Hall, and sometimes when I come into the office, I see them and I think, I need to do that. And then I come into the office and sit at my computer.
Oh, that's not good, Gail.
I know that.
We have to not sit around.
I do exercises every day.
Yeah.
Do you?
As soon as I get up,
Yeah, that's good.
You swim, don't you?
I do acrobit once a week. I was doing it twice a week, but there are too many people that want to do it, so I had to share.
They tried to teach us that in kindergarten, didn't
I
they?
know.
I had to share.
Everything I needed to know in life, you learn in kindergarten.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've heard, because of various things that, I'm hearing us talking, and we all recognize that there is a change coming at some point. We can't say when, but there is lifestyle change coming.
Definitely.
Are you ready?
Probably not.
No, I don't think we're ready.
I'm not ready to do it.
No?
No, I don't
I like-
think we're ready.
I like life the way it is, but no, yeah, you have to.
But we are planners.
Yes.
We have planned.
And you.
And I have planned.
Yeah,
I
we
know.
talked about it.
Yeah, because they have little bungalows in Port Perry on the water, but that's way too much similar to, and they don't get a sunset like I get. So that was out. But West Shore is a huge option, and that would be my next place, because
It's a retirement residence?
it's a retirement community, because you can also live in a little bungalow.
Right.
They have a few streets, and you live in the little bungalow, or you can be totally independent, or you can go to the big house for dinners, or you can even have
The big
dinners.
house.
Well, yeah, the big house.
Big
Big
dining
house.
room.
Yeah.
A friend from church, she just moved there, so I'm going to have Teeny go and visit her. At
Oh,
West.
do you have something in
Well-
mind for you?
What we have prepared at this moment, my husband and I live on the bluffs, as you know. So we have now got everything within reasonable distance of driving. My husband still drives. And I can too, but I hesitate when I like to prop him up with things he does well.
Right.
And that's one thing he does well, as long as I kind of remind him to stop fully at the stop sign. So anyway, we have our medical and, you know, shopping, and our needs are very close at hand. Whether or not we'll stay in that area, I'm not quite sure. This is why I like going around to see retirement communities. But it's, as long as we can stay in our bungalow and hire people to do things for us, we will. That's the stage we're at, but then I'm a little younger than some.
What about the stairs? Do you go
Oh,
downstairs?
yeah, oh yes, and we have railings everywhere in our, well, we just have like main floor and a few stairs down to a landing and then a few stairs down to the basement. So, you know, I just hold on to the railing and I'm fine. I don't use my cane inside the house, just when I go outside, yes. I broke my wrist a few years ago at Christmas because I went for a walk and my brother was with me and he left me, had to go into the bathroom, and down I went, I slipped on ice. So you do have to be really careful about this.
A really good adjustment, but the other thing I wanted to commend you on
Yes,
is all of the medical things you should always have nearby and be aware
Yes.
of what is accessible for you, because I
Yes.
know that is one thing I'm very fortunate in
right.
Port Perry. We have within my little clinic building, I have my respirologist, my dermatologist, and my doctor.
Right, yes.
So,
Yeah.
and my eye guy.
Right,
So like they're all there
yeah,
because they work very hard as a team of doctors
yes, right,
to make sure that it's accessible. And the thing that is happening, I was talking to one of the doctors at church who goes to my church, and he said, "Oh, Teeny, we're playing the game just right. We invite people up when someone's on a holiday, and then they see what a medical community we have. So then they like what they see for themselves as well as what they're able to do then for patients.
right,
So it is critical that we have those things and that we have them in place.
yes. Well, our former doctor, she did all the running around to source another place for Rob and I to go to for our medical needs. And there's a company from Ottawa actually called Apple Tree. You may have seen that. Yes. Well, Apple Tree now is at Ellesmere in Midland, and we just live off Midland. So it's 10 minutes up there. No issue with parking or paying or anything. And then they will refer you to all the specialists that you may need that are close by, and that's great. But that's living in the city, so it's a little different.
Yeah, downtown where I live, it's an apple tree clinic
Oh,
as
is it?
well,
Okay.
but it's associated with St. Mike's,
Yes.
which isn't that far from me. I
Right.
used to be able to walk to St. Mike's, but now the taxi is $10. So, you know, it's worth the $10
Oh, yes.
if I'm not feeling great or if I have to have an appointment there for something. But it's
But you're still driving.
I still drive, but there's really not a lot of parking
No
downtown.
kidding.
So I figure if I'm gonna pay for parking, $10 I could afford to, you know, to take a taxi. So I'm very lucky but I can walk to the grocery store, the liquor store, the bank, the drugstore. They're all
Still do
within
that.
walking for me. I walk now with the cane, and because I have arthritis in my back called dish. It's an arthritis where calcium forms on your bones and fills in the nice little soft tissues, and so eventually
You
know,
stiff.
you can't move. But I'm working on not going there right now.
Well,
But it only shows up when it's actually established in your system. You wouldn't know you had it.
Right.
But I had, I thought I had a stroke in the spring.
Right, I remember
But
that.
it wasn't a stroke, it was this arthritis. But anyways, in the meantime, I had really good medical care, and I had all the heart tests because everybody thought it was my heart. And I had, you know, even this wonderful heart clinic, the Toronto Heart Center, he threw up his hands and he said, I'm a heart doctor. Your heart's fine. Your arteries are fine. I can't help you. You know, which was fine. I was happy to hear that news. But then I said to my family doctor, I have tenderness on my rib cage, and it goes right around my back, on my bones. You could touch them and they are tender. So this very nice 78-year-old man said, oh, I'm going to send you for an x-ray on your back. And that's what it turned out to be, this particular kind of arthritis. Not fun, but treatable with physiotherapy and Tylenol, and you know, you just have to keep moving.
I just wanted to bring in too that the disability sticker for parking is good for us,
Yeah.
my husband and I.
Yeah.
So, and we had to get two. You have to get
Yeah,
one
I have
with
to get
both
one.
each our names on it,
Yeah,
and that helps a lot.
yeah, so I'm gonna get that, get one of those. But that was a big change in my life, because I thought I could still do everything. Well, I can't. You know?
Right, yeah, it's the accepting
And
that.
I have to say, okay, you can't do that. But at this church I go to, I'm lucky that they're a really friendly bunch, and we put in a pollinator garden. I couldn't do the gardening, but for others did the work. I did the paperwork, you know, and got the grant
And the
money
research
and the research and that
Oh,
stuff. And
cool.
we put in this pollinator, and so, you know, they're a lovely group, and now we're friends, and they're younger than me, which is a different set of friends, which is really
You're
good.
the wise one.
Yeah, I'm the one, yeah. But, so we're going for lunch tomorrow, you know, but it's just, if you keep doing things and find a community where you can join things, it doesn't matter if you're joining a craft group or whatever, an exercise group, you have to, you know, join in a little bit. Like everybody here does that, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. And you, Joan, from what I know of where you live in your condo, I think yours is closest to a NORC as any of us.
What is that?
NORC is a naturally occurring retirement residence.
Oh.
So it's not a retirement residence, but it's a building or well, usually a condo building where the residents themselves have created
That's right.
a community.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know in my building they're trying
Mhm.
because they do have, I just saw a sign for a bingo night. And they do have tea parties occasionally and things like that. And it's the residents doing it.
You have to
But-
have people to organize.
Yeah, but yours has all kinds of
Oh, yeah.
stuff. So,
All kinds, there's stuff going on all the time.
Yeah.
In a day, I would say 3 or 4 things that you could go to.
Really?
And then in the evening, every evening, there's something.
and yet you also have a huge range of residents with
Of age.
families, with,
Oh, yeah.
with
some without.
young,
Mhm.
yeah,
Some without, yeah.
yeah, children.
Not children in
No,
there.
oh no, yours is
No,
yeah,
there are no children. It's an adult building.
yeah.
And there are the 2 buildings and then the rec center is in between. And
Mhm,
it's, and everybody, like the person that does the aquafit, she does it 4 times a week. I mean, you don't get paid for it. It's all volunteer. Everything's volunteer.
Mhm.
And it's the people in the building
Yeah.
that volunteer.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. It's great.
Oh, you should get into one. You
You
volunteer.
would
You
love
love
it.
that.
Yeah. I was gonna ask a question though, Fran. You talk about a taxi. When we were away this past weekend in Ottawa for the volleyball tournament, we Ubered
Mhm.
because traffic in Ottawa is all right then, and you don't know where you're going, and then there's construction or a one-way or
Waste,
whatever.
yeah.
Do you have Uber nearby as well?
Yeah, my daughter, okay, I'll talk about Uber. My daughter says I should have Uber because she uses Uber. She also lives in the city. But now if I have a cane and my glasses and my cell phone, I cannot manage Uber
Okay.
on my little phone.
Okay.
You know,
So you cab.
so I cab, and actually it turned out the cabs have gotten smarter than they were, and the prices are a bit better than they were, especially downtown. But Uber's definitely cheaper
Yeah.
than taxi for the most of it.
But I understand, again, what a wise adjustment, knowing you can't do 3 things at the same time.
Yes.
That is, I think, where
Interesting.
we all excel.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to teaching,
Maybe.
because we had to be multitasking all the time. Whether you had a split class, an intermediate class, or whatever you had to be doing a lot of stuff at the same time. And I don't know who said that the other day. We have no idea how many skills we acquired
Right.
in order to manage those classes, have kids progress academically, be socially acceptable, be emotionally strong, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it kept coming at
Yeah.
us.
But we still write lists. I mean, I still write a list of things to do, and I think I'll be lucky if I get one done, but on the list. But I still have a list.
Yeah,
You know?
of course you do.
Yeah.
I look at my calendar the night before I go to bed
Yeah.
to make sure I know what
Yeah,
I'm doing or
what
get
we're
up
doing.
in time in the next morning.
Well,
Of course.
keeping track of time is another thing
Yes,
that's an
it
issue
is.
with. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
But we do have people in the building too that will drive you somewhere.
Mhm.
And we have other people outside the building that we have numbers that they'll drive you here and wait for you.
Yeah.
I've never used any yet, but
But I think if you
Yeah.
Because you still drive yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you need it, it's there, and that's where you have to say, okay.
that's right.
Never mind how proud I am about being able to drive and all that stuff. I need help.
Mhm.
So you,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
I was glad when my granddaughter drove me to a couple of dental problems I had, and you know that kind of thing. But other
I
people
think there are
would help.
volunteers, aren't there,
Yeah,
that
there are.
from cancer.
Mm-hmm.
They will drive people to their cancer
Yes.
appointments.
That's right.
And there are companies that will, I know one that I'm very familiar with is Driving Miss Daisy. Have you heard of?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have heard
it's
of
a
that.
franchise.
Yeah.
I remember the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have a transportation service where they will take you somewhere, like to a doctor's appointment, for example.
Mhm.
Go in with you.
Mhm.
You have to
Wait for
trust them.
Yes.
They'll actually go into the doctor with you if you want that, so that it's another set of eyes and
Right.
ears.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Because sometimes it's really hard to take it all in.
Yes.
I have used it for George because he has very selective hearing,
Mhm.
and so only hears what he wants and translates it as it's going in.
Right.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So I get Julia to go with him if I can't,
Mhm.
and then I know what the
Something
doctor
wrong.
actually
I think
said.
so.
Oh,
Somewhere.
Oh, yeah, her phone's ringing.
So, but that's really important too,
It
Gail,
is,
because that puts you at a place where, I mean, I know George. I'm sure that he's going to just, oh no, I'm fine, dear. And hear only what he wants to hear, but that's really important too. A very, very special friend in my life who was my bass singer at the church choir, he was struggling with cancer and we knew that. So he would go to appointments and his wife would go with him, but because it's an emotional thing for her as well, they took their daughter-in-law who is a nurse and she would script everything. No necessary interference, just script all the important things so that then when everybody had a chance to settle and then take a look at what was really said and then make a plan when the emotions are gone and the acceptance level is there.
Right.
And so you have to work harder in a way because he's going to say, no, I'm totally fine to do that.
really?
My kids go with me now when I go to doctor's
Yeah?
appointments,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they say, I only listen to what I want to listen to, so they
Well,
go with
you-
me.
Yeah.
And now, and driving to the cottage,
You don't do
I've
that.
always driven up
I
to
know.
their cottages and they say no, well, they haven't said actually no, they just said we'll pick you up.
Well, yeah, and I understand that.
But
and
the other part of that,
relief for them
Yeah.
that you will allow that.
yes, yeah, that's
Yeah, I don't like to, but yeah, I do,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's hard, but there is that other part of independence. We need to let them help us, but at the same time, we're doing better because we're so stubborn.
Yeah.
We're stubbornly independent about what we're determined to do. And we do say, okay, right now, I know that I maybe can't do that, but if I practice a little bit, I can get better at it, you know, and
One of the other things I realized, I'm a little bit more, I think trepidation is the word, and I said that, like, when I'm coming along the 407 and it's raining really, really hard and those big trucks are, and where I'm doing 120 and people are passing me, I think, maybe when I was 19 I would have kept up, but
I know.
I'm doing 120 and I'm moving over a lane.
Well, I do that too. I used to drive in the fast lane, and now I'm in the middle.
Yes.
Now I drive down the middle, and they just go by me
Right.
wherever they want. But it's true, you know. But you can't let fear take over that. You just
No.
have to find a way through it. And the loneliness, you can't let that get you. I mean, I could sit there at my apartment by myself, and if I've got pain or I've got medication that might be readjusting my chemicals, you know.
Mhm.
I can feel lonely and I can feel depressed, and then you just have to, you know, say no. I'm very blessed to have what I've got, you know, and I am. But there's other people who are lonely and have said they're lonely, and so it's hard for a lot of other seniors. I mean, this is an active seniors group that we're talking about, but there are a lot of people who aren't active and are very lonely with them.
And you know, we have to laugh too. We have to.
Oh, yeah.
laugh.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
one thing
yeah.
we have to do.
Yeah.
Even if it's not funny, sometimes you have to laugh.
Well,
And you have
it
to
is.
plan ahead, always
Yeah. Oh,
have
yeah.
goals.
Well, I have to. When I was talking to Marilyn a couple of days ago, and she was just feeling awful, but she told me a joke.
Yes.
She told me a joke on the
Yes.
phone, and I thought,
Right.
okay, good, you know. But she did say it's hard because she can't go anywhere right now.
Right.
And so we have to keep calling. We have to make the
Yes.
sisterhood work for those
Mhm,
people, because we do have members who are depressed and who are finding the chemical changes. The pills change your mood sometimes. And we've seen that in our own group, and it hasn't been fun. So we have to make sure that we accept them and go through that and say, okay, this person is having a problem, you know, let's just move on and help them if we can. But yeah.
So I
We
would say,
keep coming back to the word awareness, though.
Yeah,
Being
that's-
self-aware
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
self-accepting is so important. Because I know that I'm very silly, and I'll think, oh, I can finish cleaning this house. And I did it the other day, and I said to myself, Teeny, you silly woman, there's tomorrow. You don't have to clean the whole house today, right?
Yeah.
So I laugh at myself and go, you silly woman. And I catch myself and then I laugh.
Yeah.
Because we have to do that. We have to be able to laugh at ourselves, but it comes with self-awareness. And it's hard for me to not finish cleaning the house. I want it all done in one day. The
I
Dutch mother
remember
said to
the
me,
kid-
do it in
Very
your
done.
No.
I remember when my mother used to say, well, I could do this and then I'd sit down.
That's what I do. Read
Yeah.
a book
Yeah.
in between.
And then I'll get up and do another little chore and
Yeah.
sit down.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
that's what I do now.
Yeah, me too.
Helps anyway.
Yeah, it does.
so it's pretty obvious to me that I've always considered us representative of our core cohort,
Mhm.
people in this
Mm.
age group.
Age group.
And I hope we are, and I think probably we are, until something happens that changes that, and we know that that can happen. And but what's striking me more than anything is that for people like those in the retirement residence industry, and we deal with them a lot.
I guess.
What they might hear from us is not good news. And for somebody like Downsizing Diva in the business of moving older people, this is not good news.
Yes, we're coping.
Exactly. But you know what? What this teaches us is this is who this cohort is. These generations, boomers and us, whatever we call ourselves, this generation is fiercely independent. Stubborn goes right along with
Yeah.
it. Some of us are not as active as we want to be, but usually if we're not physically active, we're mentally very active. And we understand the need for community. We understand the need for reaching out. What is that going to tell us, who are in the business of serving the needs of us?
When you go
Food
to
for
move
thought.
someone, do you see that most people are fiercely independent still and don't and really want to be moved, or not? Do you see that same quality in the people you serve?
I do. And actually for a lot, you know, the difference between what we're talking about and staying put, aging in place, if you will, is that some are answering all of the needs that we've expressed by moving somewhere where there is support. Like a retirement residence or the kind of community that some of you have run across, which is pretty cool, like where Elva lives.
Yes.
You know, it's where you have your own little house. For me, after living in a house for 47 years, don't give me one. Don't want one. Too much responsibility. I like my condo.
I like mine.
I'm looking forward to going to a condo,
Are you?
because we've been in our house now 47 years. Yes, and things deteriorate.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to keep it up and so on. But my husband's not on the same, you know, he's not on that plane with me,
No,
so.
it took me 5 years to
Okay.
convince George to
Right.
move.
Yes.
5 years. So,
Okay.
so how long have you been trying?
Well, not really hard. My husband's 4 years older than I am, so, you know, I'll have to just wait until I catch up to him, I guess. Anyway, we'll sort it out.
I think the other thing that's important, when you then make the choice to move to a different place, you do tend to then have people of like mind again. So that is a comforting thing too, so that you have people who might want to go to euchre, or who might want to go swimming, or who might want to play bingo, whatever. So in your own new realm, you still find people of like mind, and you can still enjoy that.
I think you have to be ready yourself to decide, not have somebody else decide it for you.
Good
I
point,
had
Joan.
somebody in my building who, her kids decided she needed to move. She was very happy there, there was nothing wrong with her, she walked every day, and they moved her into a facility that they kept her there 2 months, and then they moved her again to another facility. And it took her a good year to get settled into that. It wasn't right for her, but actually she doesn't have a choice now. They've got her money, they're looking at, you know, they're looking after her money, they're looking after everything, all her bills, anything. And I think that she was a year younger than me. I thought that was really bad. I told my kids, they said, we won't do it. I said, I know you won't.
I'd like to see them try.
But it was very sad. Everybody in the
It's
building was,
disrespectful.
it was awful.
But the thing is,
two of them did it.
for the children,
Good point.
they're
And where you're
doing
going.
the best they can for their parent or
They think.
parents.
They think
They
are.
think. And they want them to be safe, and they want them to be
Yes,
healthy, and they want them to have the lifestyle
Yes.
that they think is what their parents would want.
But there's something missing when they don't discuss it. It's as
It
if
was
we don't
done.
have a brain anymore and we can't think about, like, I can understand absolutely kids who love their parents, they want them to be safe and they want them to be in a nice place, but it's called conversation, it's called coming to the middle. It's like when the kids at school used to fight, I had a bridge of conflict. One kid, and I painted them on the pavement, one kid stood at the end of the ladder and the other kid stood there, and they could not move into the next negotiating spot until they had heard what that other kid said. So if this kid said, well, I don't like it when you won't play with me at recess, and this kid would say, well, I don't like it when you always take over our games. So they had to listen to each other, so you, But I mean, kids could learn to do that in a heartbeat. Because after a period of time, I did not have kids at my office because they knew better. They knew, and the big kids would say to the little kids, "You better get to the bridge because if you get to Miss Evans, you're going to get 10 recesses." And they learn to negotiate. But and I understand how I know my kids they really wanted me to check into that, but we did that respectfully. We talked about it, and then you have your point of view, and I know that, and there's always an extenuating circumstance when somebody's head is no longer working.
Right,
That
yes.
and then it's different. But I'm glad your kids respect you and treat you that way.
Yeah,
So
it's
no, I
just
mean
like-
I'm not surprised. No, but
No, but isn't it sad to see this, because she was my best friend there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
to see that happen to her was terrible. And
But there are people that we see who are so isolated.
Mhm.
They live alone,
Yeah.
like you,
Yeah.
in a condo, like you.
They-
They aren't the type to go out and
that's
join.
true too.
Yeah.
That
And
happens. That does happen.
So, and then they just they don't thrive.
No.
I got this thing for Christmas called Storyworth. I don't know if you've heard about it. My family gave it to me, and every week there's a question about your life, and you're supposed to write about your life, and then they're going to make a book out of it.
Oh, interesting.
And one of the questions that just came up recently is, what would you want your grandchildren to know about senior living and at your age now, how you are, how to treat you as you are now? And I thought, I don't exactly know how to, but I mean, I have nice grandchildren. But if I didn't, as you're
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
you know, family and grandchildren, that respect for seniors, for people that are older, for mature, for the wisdom that might come with being that, is very, very important in families. But so many people say, "Oh, they're old, so you know, we won't include them. They can't get there. They can't do blah 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 and all that stuff."
Ageism is rampant in
Yes.
our
I
think
society.
Traditions are great too, to continue them on in the family. Like
That's
I do
right.
the gingerbread
Oh
houses.
yeah,
Yeah.
tell that story.
My oldest granddaughter is 49, and I've been doing either baking at Christmas time or gingerbread houses since she was 2, and she's never missed a time. And you know, I won't tell you the story, but I had a problem with the condo because I booked the party room and 2 people booked it. So anyway, I don't have it, but 2 of my grandkids have offered to have it. So anyway, they had to have it because the one was not going to be able to go if I made it a different day. So she said, I'll have it. And like it's 30 people to have in her home, and she's having a birthday party for her little one the day before. So, and she's working her first week back at work. But you know, they do it.
Yeah, the tradition
But the
made it.
that
gingerbread
tradition
houses
is-
are
yeah.
really important. That'll go on after I'm gone for
Yeah.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your legacy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You were the start of that. And I think that, and you've always celebrated family, and so that continues because those things are so contagious, beautifully contagious. So when I'm sitting at a volleyball tournament and Wade's gonna play, then he sees, oh, my knee's there. So he comes over, stands up, all 6'4" or whatever he is, and I go, hi Wade, and he goes, hi Nee, big hug, right? Well, then a couple of the kids that he plays with will go, oh Nee, I didn't know you were here. You know what I mean? It's one of those
Right.
positive things that is contagious, and it's wonderful.
Yes.
It really is wonderful. And I think that, I like that word, the traditions. Because when my dad had his Dupuytren's surgery, he couldn't make the Christmas bread. Dutch tradition, man, you gotta have real Christmas bread with the marzipan and everything in it.
Right.
So I said, I don't know what we're gonna do. I said, well, said Jack, I don't know how old he was. Then he said, we can make it, Nee. So we made it, we carried on that tradition. And it's so important. It just is.
It is.
I was gonna get a picture of the crabapple jelly we made.
Oh, yes, I had it. It was good.
Yeah, and my daughter and my mother did that, and I've done that, and my daughter does it. And now we keep doing it. And she said, I want my daughters to know this, and now they know how to do it. You know, but it's the same kind of passing on those kinds of little
They're
things.
like butter tarts in
Yeah,
our
like
family.
butter tarts and-
My mother made the best.
Well, that's
Yeah, your mother did make good butter tarts, I
Mhm.
remember that.
yeah.
They used to say that Vern made the best pastry because
Yeah.
what happened when I was first married and I made pastry and it was terrible, and he said, anybody can make pastry, and I said, well, do it. And he did it forever, so the butter tarts were his. Didn't matter what I did to them, but he made the best butter tarts. And that's one of my granddaughters is making butter tarts now, and she always refers to her grandpa.
Oh,
So paying
nice.
attention to family and tradition and
Yeah,
those kinds of
that's
things.
very true.
Are
That's very true.
important.
Mhm.
And we have been very fortunate, we all still have wonderful connections, and I guess a whole lot has to do with the big LOVE word, right?
Yeah.
Like I have to make a decision,
No, you don't.
and it's not urgent.
No.
Yeah, that's great.
And
You're not
I
ready
think,
yet to do that.
I'll move over, Sam.
Okay.
well, I'm certainly not ready, to give up work, for
No,
example.
this is
No,
I
no, no,
find
no.
this really interesting that you're still working. You know, because I think
my
of you
own
as about,
business. They
I
can't
know,
tell me how.
but I don't think of you as the age you are. I think of you much younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think of me as the age I am
No.
either.
How old are you?
I'm almost 82.
Okay.
Oh, yes, same as me.
Mhm.
Yes, we're the January birthday girls.
Mhm.
But Gail, I want to throw a word at you, it's called earthing. And I am a very amazing Reiki lady. And one of the people that we work with is an earthing person. It's very important to get your bare feet on our earth in terms of, I don't know, the eons and ions and whatever.
Yeah.
And so because you live on the floor, that's okay. But you get to the ranch. So,
I've got my
right?
feet on the ground.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an important thing to do. So I think that takes away some of the pressure too, so that when you feel like, okay, now I want to do that, then you've got a time to sort of explore. Because, for example, a very silly example, but when my grandson was going to university, and he's in Ottawa, and all of a sudden he went, oh, I like it here. I said, honey, then you don't have to go any further. How does it feel in your gut? How does it feel? Does it feel good? He said, yeah. I said, okay then, you don't have to visit the other universities because you'll feel it. And he's totally happy there.
Mhm.
And it's just a feeling. And we have that intuition. My dad used to talk about that a lot. But I think we do have an inner sense of,
Belonging, place of
what,
belonging.
like there's so many
What's
words
right.
for it, yes.
Yeah.
And when we feel that, we know it, and then it's good.
Mhm.
And so you'll know when you feel it.
Yeah, your intuition is very important.
Oh, yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. It really is.
But Gail, is it because you're on the 30th floor that you'd like to move lower? Is that?
Well, I think it's probably, I keep saying, I need
It's
to have
more
my
like
feet
a
on the ground,
a
and I don't
symbol.
want a house.
Right.
It's not hard,
Yeah,
but,
but
It's more like a symbol of, you know, you're gonna have to make
Exactly.
a change, and you have to figure
Yeah.
out what it is.
when
Yeah.
Rob and I first got married, we lived on the 15th floor in a building in Thorncliffe Park.
Mm.
And I was always thinking of ways we could get out,
Mhm.
you know, like, because living up in the stories up there wasn't for me.
Great view, though.
Yes,
Great. I
we
love our
were
view.
right into the valley. We
Yeah.
had- Yeah, and the raccoons would come up and, you know, people would feed them, not me, but.
Yeah, well, we've got the CN Tower as our lawn ornament.
No,
so
yeah,
Yes.
they
that's-
are, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But,
Yeah.
but it's still, it's just not right for us anymore.
But it
and I
has to
know.
be, you have to do what feels right for you. So I was laughing at myself this morning. I had to get the peanuts out for the blue jays. I had to fill my thingamajigger with the suet for my woodpeckers. I had to fill up my little things because I have goldfinches. And I had to go downstairs, down the steps to my other feeder because I love watching those silly birds.
Yeah.
And I have 2 cats. It's their morning cartoons. So they're at the window like this. I think Chippy might be finished, but he likes to come. So I'm really bad. I drop a few peanuts in front of the door so that the cats are like this when Chippy comes to get them. But that's my
your
joy.
I was
That's
just
my
thinking
joy.
that. Yeah. Whereas if you suddenly realize that you don't have a joyful sense anymore where you are, then you do have to change.
Right.
You know? But that is
There
a
you go.
wonderful example of.
But
you know,
it is my joy.
Yeah.
But I did explore the others, and I think it was important for my kids to know that I did explore them. And it is important for me to be aware that there are some things I cannot do anymore, like the heavy snow. So I have accepted that, and I'm happy to pay that lovely young man who is happy for the job because he had his own issues. So things do kind of work, and
You know, and you forget that maybe your family, if you have family around you, are happy to look after you. They want to do
Yeah, they
things.
do.
They really do. They want you to be safe. They want you to be looked after, and feel that somebody's caring about what's happening. Yeah, so,
And especially if they're not able to be around
All
very
the
much,
time,
either
yeah.
because they live
Absolutely,
elsewhere
yeah.
or.
So when they offer something, I have to say yes. I have to say, okay, it's okay. I can take her arm, or I can do whatever, you know. And
Do you know that George will not take my arm?
Oh,
Will not.
at 99.
No. Well, he will use a walker. He's fine to use a walker because otherwise he would be in trouble. But when he is getting out of the car and he just needs some extra support while he's reaching for his walker, no way. He will do this on the car door.
Rather than hold your
Rather
arm.
than hold my arm.
That's funny.
But I've seen him take Jeff's or something.
oh.
That's funny.
Just me.
I think I can understand.
Yeah,
I can.
I can too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can do
yeah,
that.
yeah, we can,
He's got to keep a little extra pride for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
He does.
yeah.
So you have to accept that.
I know, that's the whole thing.
It's
yeah.
up to
That's
you.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is true. I know that. And, you know, and I kind of fight it because I want to help.
Yes.
I want to keep him safe.
Mhm.
But really, that's not, I think it's not my job.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the picket fence we sit
Yeah.
on sometimes.
Yeah.
It's sharp. It's sharp.
I
That's a good scene.
I like that one.
Think about those things.
So,
And that's the thing we didn't talk about today, was how technology's changed our
Oh,
life.
and that's very
Oh,
difficult
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
no kidding.
Yeah. It's amazing how my 93-year-old friend in Windsor can keep in touch with all her friends here in Toronto.
Yes, on
And-
FaceTime or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, or just with even emails, we can just talk, you know, I mean, we like the phone better.
And I gotta tell you, when I left this morning, George was on my laptop. That's a little scary. But he was on the East York Barbershoppers website
Oh, wow.
learning his music for the rehearsal tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and Rob
amazing.
the
is going
show,
to that on Saturday.
Yeah,
Is
so
it
am I.
this Saturday?
This Saturday.
Oh, maybe I'll come too.
You
Yes.
should, yeah.
You know what it surprised me? I knit all the time. And I said to my daughter one time, you know, when you're knitting and you're adding stitches for under the arm, you get these little pinholes. And I said, I don't want them. She said, go online. I went online. There it was.
But I was thinking about you the
I
other
think so.
day,
And I've been knitting for years.
because of all the creative things that you did.
Oh,
You just didn't let time go by. You decided to explore those creative parts of
A
you.
lot.
Yeah, you did. But it was always uplifting to know, oh, well, look what she's done. You know, maybe I should try something
I've
else.
got
Yeah.
lamps from stained
Yeah.
glass. I've got things
Oh,
I did
yes.
from folk art and a lot of Christmas stuff.
But that
And then
creative
the
side
knitting
of
I
us,
do all.
yeah, and
I
the
still do.
creative side of us is important. We
You're,
can't
and
leave
you're
it.
right, Fanny, absolutely right, because what I remember that was something else I taught my kids. We have so many intelligences, so we must be aware. And I used to say to the kids, no, it's not how intelligent are you, it's
What you
how
do
are
with it.
you intelligent.
Mhm.
So I can remember going down I know, it's so simple, but I remember, so Justin, the reports are ready. Can I see it? How did you do? And he goes,
Well, Miss Evans, you know I'm not so good at English, so my reading and writing, but I got 97 in phys ed.
and he was proud of the fact because he knew where he was good. So if we could just remember to celebrate how we are intelligent, and we all have a creative spirit in there. Mine, I discovered mine.
You look
It's
at
pottery.
this, and you know this came from her.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
That's what
that's a creative thing.
I know it is.
I thought it was right off the bat. Yeah.
I remember that punching at your house and everything. You know, how wonderful you did things.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I don't remember that about me.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
do know that now when I put my mind to it, and sometimes I just have to
Mhm.
Oh, do you?
do something like
It's
this,
a really
you know,
great
and,
way to do things.
and
feel good.
charcuterie. Oh
Mm.
my goodness, I'm good at
Yes.
those
Are you?
boards.
Ooh.
Oh,
I've got 2 boards you could take.
Yeah.
I got 2 boards.
It's true. It doesn't have to be. We're not going out in the arts. I'm not saying that with our. When you say creative, it's just all kinds of other
Oh,
little
yes.
things.
Oh, yeah.
My mom discovered at 67 that she could paint.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful because
Lovely.
it was beautiful. And then my father thought he should be able to paint too. And so he tried it. It was not. He
No,
was not.
not good.
He didn't have it. He had music. He played the violin. He had his creative outlet as well. But I do remember he thought he would try soapstone carving. And he thought it was so lovely. And because I loved him so dearly, I took it and I said, yeah, it's beautiful. And it's not, but it's in my house in a prominent place. Just read. Yeah, the creativity is there. And it's important to find it, Franny. Thank you for pointing that out because what's yours? Where's your creative outlet?
Well, when I retired, I became a landscape painter. I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my house is full of all of that, but I haven't done it lately because I'm trying to clean up the area. I have to clean that area.
I know
up.
somebody who can help you with that.
Yeah, but I have.
Okay, well, thank you all for being here. This has been great fun. And
It has been
It has.
it really has.
very interesting.
Really, really.
And the beauty of that is the fact that we have something in common that we had 60 years ago and we still have
Still
it.
have
That's right.
I know. And we have a whole bunch of other sisters, the
Yes.
women that we taught with, who are part of this group. And for whatever reason, not able to be here. And we want to tell Barb and Wendy and Marilyn and Elva and Darlene and Bev
Yes.
how much we miss them, how much we would have loved to have them be part of this. And we look forward to the next time we can get together.
Right.
Yes, that's great.
And for us, because I think it's going to be important for them who are not here to reflect the same as it will for us. I just would like to recap. We have heard a little bit about, well, a lot actually, about the things that are really important to us that have carried us through to this point and into our future. And one of the topics that I know came up a number of times was the self-awareness and, understanding who we are and the things that are important to us, because that drives where we're going next.
Yeah.
Anyway, another thing that we've heard about from each other, talked about, is the sense of community and how important that is and always has been for us, but for people. As you were saying, it's people. It's the people in our lives that matter, and we are fortunate to have this community and so many others. You've got your church community, you've got family community,
Church
you've got
and community, yes.
exactly. The last thing that we talked about, and it came up time and time again, is what brings us joy. And for all of us, joy is what makes it worth getting up every day.
Yes.
And so for you,
That's the smoke alarm.
That's how life goes.
Yes.
Oh, she's doing that.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that a riot? Oh my God.
I guess that's the end.
okay, so I don't think that any of us could pick and choose between the awareness or the joy or those kinds of things that have surfaced today that are so important to us moving forward. But can you think of something? I think if we don't grab it and say it,
Right.
then we may not take it forward. So for you,
For
first
me-
thing, real quick.
Okay, for me, I'm thinking, I don't use the word can't. I use the word how can I make it work today to get the best life I can for the moment that I can do and enjoy and get joy out of it and have people in it. It's not that I can't do it, I have to make it, I have to find a way to make it work for me.
Thank you.
And I think, Franny, I'm gonna jump right on that because sometimes living on my own on a Friday night and then other people are having, Neil and I would sit and have TVs and shows and popcorns and everything, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm at the lake and on a Friday night, most of my kids are busy, most of my friends are busy, many of my friends are married. So what can I do? And instead of feeling sorry for myself by myself on the lake. So you know what I do? I go, okay, what's one of my other favorite things to do? Cook. I love to cook. So I crank the tunes, pour myself a glass of Cab Sav, and then make myself a stir fry or something fun. Sometimes I just make it up. And then I have a wonderful special dinner. I might even take a picture of it and send it to my kids and just say, oh, Mom, that looks really good. And then I'm happy because I've made myself find some joy.
Good for you.
And my word would be, to wrap it up, we were talking about patience just now. And I find that if I'm patient, then I don't get angry or annoyed. And that's very important with my husband because I need a lot of patience with him. And that helps a lot.
Do you think there's a school you can go to?
I don't know.
Yeah. And
I
Joan?
guess I'm with Teeny because I have to keep myself busy. I'm very happy when I'm busy. So if I'm home and by myself, I'll sit down in the evening, I put the TV on and I knit.
You knit.
And that keeps me busy, or I'm looking for on the computer for different wool. Something to do with knitting. That's for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And for me, definitely, it's work.
Yes.
And it feeds me every day, and it keeps my energy level up, and it keeps me getting up every morning, and I know that I can't keep doing it forever, so I have to find other things, and maybe doing fruit plates
Yes,
is
right.
the creative side.
Right.
But it for me, it's being productive. It's being, it's really important to me. And sometimes to the detriment, as you all know, by the number of times I miss our gatherings, it does cause me to miss a lot. And I think I need to, this one thing I've learned today is I need balance.
Yes.
And as much as I love this,
That's
I need balance.
good word.
Mhm.
And that
That's a good
happens
word.
when you love something very much. And I can remember my daughter sitting beside me, and when I was marking on a Saturday night, she'd say, Mom, your life is way out of balance. It's not in balance. However, I've had my moment back because she's now teaching and she'll be doing the same thing. And I'll say very sweetly, honey, do you think your life's in balance? And she'll say, oh, Mom, stop it. But it's true because it's so easy to devote time to something we're good at. And the other thing, Gail, I want to throw your way, we make the world a bit of a better place with the little things we do, and you make the world a lot better.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you for,
us.
I was just gonna say that. Thank you for inviting us.
Yes,
Well, I'm so glad that I did. So glad. And
We're
I
glad too,
know
yeah.
that a lot of other people who see this are going to be glad too.
I hope so.
Great.
Yeah, that's great.